This is your 1979 Volkswagen Super Beetle Convertible. Looks the same as it did when received. There's no visible difference in the vehicle. Let's take a look at the inside here. Dash looks the same as it did before. In the back, and everything looks the same, with an exception. We've added a center console in which to house your new instrumentation that monitors your battery pack and your conversion components. So you can see it added a boot for your stick shift. There's a little cubby up in the front there. But this is what we had to add. We didn't want to adulterate your dash. The Super Beetles really don't lend themselves to modification, either under the dash. There's a bunch of wiring and stuff from the factory, and so they're just not real conducive to the modification. So on the Super Beetle, we add this console. It features 3 gauges. The first one is a VDO 12 volt gauge, which will monitor your 12 volt system, which is your auxiliary battery and your DC to DC converter. And then we have the JLD 404, which monitors your battery. So it gives us our battery voltage, which is what we're seeing right now. And it gives us our amp hours, which, let me zero that out. We just finished charging it. And we go over the operation of all this in the manual that we provide and in the introduction video that we'll provide also. So there's amps, that's what we normally leave it sitting on. And this is the Curtis 840 display, and that monitors your inverter and your motor. And then we have a light and button there and a light here. I'm going to turn on the ignition now, and when I do, these things turn on. So this light is just a reminder that your ignition is on. You never want to leave it on, as it would run down your battery pack over time. And of course you can see the 12 volt gauge came alive, and it shows about 14 volts. So the DC to DC converter is working, and you can see it's drawing from the pack 1.3 amps. And the Curtis display is showing RPMs at being 0. If you press the center of this, actually a switch, you press that, and that puts the vehicle into reverse. You don't need to use the stick shift to go into reverse anymore. Just push that button, it goes into reverse. The little blue light comes on to remind you that you're in reverse, and the reverse lights come on automatically also. Push it again, you're back into forward. So let's take a look at what else is actually different that you can't see. And so that would be, of course, under the bonnet. So in the back here, underneath this stock carpet, you really can't see it all black on black. But that is a cover that's covering that back battery pack. It just fits in that space that was behind the seat. So under the front, we have what your spare tires underneath that carpeted piece, just as it was before. But now there's a box that's a little bit larger than the fuel tank was, but that's your front battery box. And on the front of the front battery box is your charger. This is for charging your traction pack. Right here we have a little trickle charger built in. Just simply plug it in anytime the car is going to be sitting for any period of time. That will keep that 12-volt auxiliary battery charged. That's underneath your back seat, your original battery. This is your main pack disconnect, so you can disconnect the battery pack. And on this side is your J1772 charge port, your regular level 2 charge port. Okay, that's all that's been added, and that's different. The Super Beetle doesn't have, like I said, on the inside of the vehicle the dash is different. Under the bonnet it's different also. There's not a panel and a location where you can put the electronics and everything like we normally do on a standard Beetle. So all the relays and all that is inside this box underneath the switch. And so everything's accessible and very modular, just like all of the other conversions we do. Let's take a look at the back at the engine compartment. From the outside, the only would be that there's no tailpipe. Inside the engine bay, we now have a 3-phase AC induction motor and a 650 amp inverter. We have our coolant reservoir. If you ever see coolant isn't in the line there, you know you need to add some. It needs to be filled to like a ½ inch below the top of that reservoir. And we go through all this, like I said, in an additional video that we will be providing for you that you'll get when you receive the vehicle. This is just to show you that the vehicle is complete. We're going to do a road test here in a moment and take you along for the ride, thanks to GoPro. There's some electronics right there. So you have a couple relays up here. This is your reverse light relay. This is the reversing relay. This is your KSI relay. And then your main contactor, the shunt, and your throttle. It's all very simple. Your radiator and pump cooling system is underneath this rear panel and is accessible from underneath the car. So there you have it. That is your conversion setup. Now we'll install the GoPros and take it for a little ride. I'm going to take it up 20 miles north of here and have it weighed, and then we'll stop by the local Nissan dealership and we'll give it a quick little charge. Just charging it in the shop, in the warehouse, is one thing. We do it in public just to confirm that everything is working so that it's compatible with public charging. It's never been an issue, but we go through the motion anyway. It's part of our test routine. And so we're going to make about a 42-mile loop observe the energy consumption and how the car feels, so forth. When we're setting it up, we do it out in the parking lot and make sure that the settings are how we like them. But this will be a quick road trip just to make sure that everything is as it should be. So let's go. Get the seatbelt adjusted and we'll get out of here. Okay. Cameras are catching this. Doing 60 right now. onto Interstate 5. Okay, now to get the thing weighed. Okay, now that we got it weighed, 2440. 240 pounds more than a stock bug. Nice thing about electric is you can take off and go. Truckers are running the 70. But we got enough power to nice is I can come off this off ramp and hardly use my brakes. Gas station. Pull into the Nissan dealership. They have the charging block by all these other cars. Oh, son of a gun. Maybe it can reach. Oh yeah, there's one. Okay. All right. Well, here at the Nissan dealership, we're charging at 21 amps.